The arena of chains. The crowd was screaming. Alien voices shouted from all directions, echoing across the massive metal arena. Dust rose into the sky, chains rattled, weapons clanged, and then the gate opened. A lone human stepped into the arena. His name was Jace Kellen. He wore torn clothes, his hands bruised and chained. Two alien guards pushed him forward with electric rods. His face was calm, but his eyes burned with something else. The sun above was bright and harsh. The sand beneath his feet was dry and red. Across the field stood a beast taller than two men. Its fur was white, its fangs were long, its blue eyes glowed like fire. It wore dark black armor with spikes. And it growled low. Sitting above the arena on a high throne was Commander Vera, a tall, powerful alien woman in dark battle robes. Her long silver horns curved back. Her face was sharp and cold. She stood and raised her voice. "Kneel, human," or, "My beast will rip you apart." The crowd cheered, clapping their claws and stomping their feet. Jace looked up at her. He did not kneel. He stood straight. He stared back at her, expressionless. Vera narrowed her eyes. So be it. She snapped her fingers. The beast roared and charged. The ground shook as the creature ran toward Jace. The crowd shouted louder. This was what they came for. They wanted blood. Human blood. But Jace didn't run. He didn't scream. Instead, he closed his eyes. As the beast came closer, Jace whispered something in a low, soft voice. Words not in English, but in an old alien tongue. The beast slowed down. The crowd went silent. The creature stopped only a few feet in front of Jace, breathing hard, growling softly. Its eyes blinked. Jace slowly opened his eyes. He looked straight into the beast's glowing eyes and whispered again. The beast tilted its head, confused. Commander Vera stood up. "What are you doing? Attack!" The beast didn't move. The guards panicked. One jumped into the arena and pointed a weapon at Jace. "Back away from the human," Vera shouted. But before the guard could fire, the beast turned and growled at him. The guard froze. The beast suddenly pounced. Not on Jace, but on the guard. With one strike, the guard hit the sand, unconscious. The other guard tried to run. Too late. The beast growled again and stood protectively in front of Jace. The crowd didn't cheer. They didn't understand. Jace looked up at the stands and said calmly, "You trained the beast with fear. I spoke to it with knowledge." The arena guards quickly surrounded the area. They aimed at the beast. Jace raised his hands slowly. "Don't want to fight," he said, "but I won't kneel for cruelty." Vera walked forward to the edge of the stands. Her voice was sharp. "You used forbidden words. How do you know the language of the beasts?" "I studied them," Jace said. "Before your kind captured me, I was a xenobiologist. I spent years learning alien species, including yours." Vera stared at him. Her pride was wounded. The crowd, once cheering her name, now watched quietly. "You embarrassed me in my own arena," she said. "No," Jace replied. "You embarrassed yourself." The beast growled again, but this time it wasn't angry. It leaned against Jace's side like a pet. The next moment, more guards rushed in. The beast growled, ready to attack again. Jace raised a hand. "Wait, enough blood. Let your commander speak." Vera held out her hand. The guard stopped. The silence in the arena was heavy. Then she pointed at Jace. "Tomorrow you face me, in combat." The crowd gasped. "Me?" Jace said, confused. "Yes," she said. "No beast, no tricks. Just you and me. And when I win, you will kneel." Jace smiled. "Then I guess we'll see," he said. As the gates closed behind him and the beast followed, Jace took a deep breath. He was still alive, but the real fight was just beginning. The arena of chains had seen many battles, but none like this. Because this time the human didn't come to die. He came to rise. The beast hesitates. The arena was quiet. Too quiet. Commander Vera sat in her tall throne, staring at the field. Her sharp fingers tapped the armrest slowly. The crowd waited, holding their breath. They wanted blood. They wanted the human to fail. But Vera wanted something more. Revenge. Below, in the training cage, Jace stood inside a dark chamber made of stone and steel. His hands were unchained now, but guards watched him from above. His clothes were simple, his body bruised, but his eyes were clear. Beside him stood the white armored beast. It didn't snarl, it didn't roar. It simply stood, watching him. Jace held out his hand slowly. "You remember me, don't you?" The beast blinked its glowing blue eyes. Jace whispered again in the alien tongue. Not commands, just calm, soft words. The beast tilted its head. A low, peaceful sound came from its chest. One of the alien guards watching from above shouted, "It's still listening to him." Another said, "That's not right. The beast is warbred. It obeys only the command chip." Vera's voice came through the loudspeaker. "Remove the chip." Everyone turned toward the throne. "What?" the guard said in shock. "Commander, the chip controls its rage." "I said remove it," she repeated. "Let us see if this human truly controls the beast, or if the beast chooses him freely." The order was given. A small drone flew into the training cage. It buzzed to the back of the beast's neck and pulled out a tiny metal disc, the control chip. The beast growled. Its armor pulsed blue. The guards pulled back. The moment was tense. Jace stood still, hands open, eyes on the creature. If it turned wild again, it could kill him in seconds, but the beast didn't attack. It walked closer and rested its huge head against Jace's chest. The crowd gasped. In the control room, Vera's eyes narrowed. "This is not possible," she muttered. "That beast has never bowed to anyone." A tall alien general beside her asked, "What shall we do, Commander?" She stood. "We give the human what he wants, a fight." The next morning, the sun rose bright over the arena. Thousands filled the seats. Alien nobles, soldiers, even slaves came to watch. The human and the commander would fight today. The gates opened. Jace stepped out alone. No beast, just him. He wore light armor, metal and leather, given to him hours before. He held no weapon, just calm eyes and steady breath. Across the arena, Vera walked in slowly. She wore dark battle armor, sharp and royal, with a long curved blade at her side. The crowd screamed her name. "Vera! Vera!" She raised her hand. The crowd went silent. "You had your chance to kneel," she said to Jace. "And you had your chance to listen," he replied. "Now, we fight." She charged first. Fast. Jace moved aside, barely dodging her sharp blade. Sand flew up as she struck. Again. He rolled, ducked, avoided. He didn't try to hit back. Not yet. "You're fast," she said, breathing heavy. "I'm smart," he replied. She growled. "This arena was built by my people. You are just a pet, a toy." Jace grinned. "Then why are you sweating?" The fight continued, back and forth. Vera fought with power and pride. Jace fought with speed and patience. But the crowd noticed something strange. Every time she struck with anger, Jace moved like he knew what she would do. Every time he got close, he pulled back like he didn't want to hurt her. And then he spoke, in her own language. "You don't want to kill me," he said. She froze, just for a second. How do you know our tongue?" she whispered. "I listen, I learn. That's what humans do." She shouted and attacked again, wild and furious. Jace finally responded. He caught her arm, twisted her blade away, and dropped her to the sand. The crowd fell silent. He could have ended her, but he didn't. He stepped back. "Now," he said. "You kneel." Vera looked up at him, breathing hard. Guards rushed in, unsure what to do. The beast appeared at the gate, watching, waiting. The entire arena waited. Vera's fingers touched the sand. She knelt, not in defeat, but in realization. "You are not weak," she said. "No, Jace replied. We are human, and you messed with the wrong kind. Junkyard trouble. The next morning was quiet. Kai stood outside his small workshop, scanning broken ship parts scattered across the junkyard. He tried to focus, but his mind kept going back to Sira. She was inside, resting. Her fire had not flared, again since last night. But her body was still hot, and her golden eyes still glowed with something powerful. Something not fully awake yet. Kai rubbed his face. What have I gotten into? Then he heard it, a hum in the sky. He looked up. 3 black ships flew low over the junkyard, kicking up dust as they passed. One stopped right above his building. A voice spoke from a speaker. This is the Central Sector Bounty Guild. We're here on official search. Do not resist. The ship landed with a loud thud. The ramp opened. 5 bounty hunters walked out, dressed in dark armor. Their helmets hid their faces. One of them held a scanner that blinked. Red Kai stepped forward, trying to act calm. Can I help you? He asked. The lead hunter spoke. We're looking for something that escaped containment. It's dangerous. Maybe hiding here. Kai kept a straight face. This is just a junkyard. You won't find much here but old parts and broken dreams. The hunter didn't laugh. Instead, he raised the scanner. We picked up a heat signature near this location. Unregistered, non-human. Kai's heart pounded. He had to think fast. I've got an old welding bot that overheats sometimes, he said. Might be your signal. The hunter turned to his squad. Search the area. Scan every corner. They spread out. One walked toward the garage. Kai moved in front of the door. Hey, that area's full of unstable gas tanks. He lied. You fire a scanner inside, you might blow this place. Sky high. The hunter hesitated. Another bounty hunter looked at his wrist device. Sir? No sign of escape pods or damage nearby. This might be a false signal. The leader narrowed his eyes. He looked at Kai again. You live alone? Kai nodded. Just me and my bots. After a long pause, the bounty leader finally said, Let's move. They walked back to their ship. But as they left, one of them dropped something small near the door. A tracker. Kai didn't notice right away. Inside, Sira had been hiding. She was curled up in a dark storage crate under a thick heat blanket. Her claws dug into the floor. She heard every step outside. Her body trembled, not in fear but in burning control. She was holding her fire back with everything she had. When Kai finally opened the door, she jumped out of the crate and grabbed his arm. Are they gone? Yeah, he said. But they'll be back. She looked down. You should have given me to them. Kai frowned. What? You don't know what I am, what I can become. He looked into her eyes. I know enough. Later that evening, Kai found the tracker. It blinked red. Under the stairs, his face turned pale. They marked us. He grabbed it, crushed it under his boot, and threw the pieces into the fire pit. Sira stood behind him. It's too late. They know. Kai looked at her, determined. Then we make a plan. We fight, or we run. But I'm not leaving you behind. Sira's eyes watered. You're not afraid of me? I should be, he said, smiling weakly. But I'm more afraid of what'll happen if I lose you. That night, Sira stood under the stars, her scales glowing faintly. She looked at the sky, at the ships that might return soon. Then she looked back at the garage. At Kai. Her chest burned, not with fear but with something new. Hope. Far away in a control center, a bounty commander stared at a screen. The signal had gone dark. He turned to his soldiers. Prepare the strike team. We're not asking next time. What awakens war. The wind was quiet. Inside the junkyard garage, Sira sat cross-legged on the floor. Her silver hair fell over her shoulders, and her arms rested on her knees. Her eyes were closed. Her chest rose and fell slowly. She was trying to control the fire inside her, but it wasn't working. The heat in her blood was growing, fast and wild. She could feel it moving through her veins, burning her muscles, waking her old memories. Memories of cages, memories of pain, memories of fire. Kai watched her from the corner of the room. He didn't speak. He didn't move. He could see drops of sweat on her skin, glowing like hot gold. The heat in the air made his eyes sting, but he didn't look away. Suddenly, Sira gasped. She fell forward, grabbing her chest. Flames sparked from her hands. Kai rushed over. "Sira," she cried out. "Stay back!" But he didn't stop. He reached for her arm, and the moment he touched her, everything changed. A bright blue light burst from her body. Kai's eyes widened. The mark on her shoulder, thin like a scar, lit up and spread. The same glowing lines ran down her arms and onto his. He shouted in shock. The fire around her stopped. Sira blinked, confused. Her body relaxed. The flames vanished. Her eyes dimmed, and the room fell silent. They both sat on the floor, breathing hard. "What just happened?" Kai asked. Sira looked at his arm. The blue lines were still glowing faintly. "You touched me, and the bond completed." Kai frowned. "What bond?" She looked into his eyes. "We're connected now. Fully." She spoke slowly. "In my kind, the bond is rare. It only happens when deep trust is shared, when the fire chooses a protector." Kai was silent. "I didn't know it would happen," she added. "But when you held my arm, my fire felt you, and it didn't fight back." Kai looked down at the glowing mark. "So, what does this mean?" Sira hesitated. "It means, if I die, you die." His heart stopped for a second. "What?" "But also," she added, "if I live, you grow stronger." The rest of the day passed quietly. Sira rested on the couch, curled under a blanket, her scales cool and soft now. Kai sat at his desk, turning his arm slowly under the light. The glowing lines were fading, but still there. His body felt different, lighter, stronger, like something ancient was resting just under his skin. He could still feel her fire. Later that night, they sat on the roof of the garage. Stars filled the sky. Sira spoke first. "I used to think bonding was a curse. My kind called it the burning thread. They said it tied us down, made us weak." Kai nodded. "But now?" She looked at him and smiled. "I don't think it's weakness anymore." They sat in silence for a while. Then she said quietly, "You're the only person who ever touched me without fear." Kai looked at her. "You're not a monster, Sira. You're someone worth saving." But peace wouldn't last. Far away, in the dark, a shadow moved. A black dropship landed quietly on a nearby ridge. 3 figures stepped out, covered in heavy armor. One of them held a glowing device. "She's here," he said, "and she's bonded." Another spoke into a comm. "Target locked, ready to extract by force." Back at the junkyard, Sira's eyes snapped open. Her pupils turned sharp, like a dragon's. "They're here," she whispered. Kai stood. "Now?" She nodded. "They're close." The mark on his arm began to glow again. "I'll get the tools," Kai said. "And I'll bring the fire," Sira replied. They looked at each other. No fear, only fire. Burn the sky. The stars above the junkyard were hidden behind thick clouds, but Kai and Sira knew what was coming. They stood on the roof of Kai's small garage, looking out at the dark sky. Then it happened. A bright red light flashed above them, followed by the low, rumbling sound of engines. A black ship dropped through the clouds, hovering over the junk piles like a hunting hawk. Its light scanned the ground, searching for one thing: her Sira. Inside the ship, a soldier in dark armor spoke into a comm. "Target location confirmed. The Dragon Girl is bonded." "Orders?" A voice replied coldly. "Bonded or not, bring her back, alive if possible, dead if needed." Kai ran inside and opened his secret storage wall. He pulled out 3 old blaster cannons and 2 mechanical drones. He had been fixing them for scrap, but now they were weapons. Sira stood at the door, her arms glowing softly. The fire under her skin was rising. "They won't take me," she said. Kai nodded. "They'll have to go through both of us." The enemy ship opened its side ramp. 3 armored bounty hunters dropped into the yard. One of them shouted through a voice amplifier, "You are harboring stolen property. Release the subject now or we will open fire." Kai stepped forward. "She's not property, she's a person." The hunter raised a weapon. "This is your final warning." Then Sira stepped out. Her eyes were glowing gold. Her arms were lined with fire. She didn't shout, she didn't scream, she just said one word: "Leave." The fire behind her roared. The bounty hunters fired. Explosions shook the yard. Kai's auto turrets blasted back, cutting down one of the bounty hunters. The second charged forward, but Sira met him mid-air. Her wings unfolded for the first time, scales, wide, burning with golden light. She slammed into the soldier, knocking him into a pile of junk metal. He didn't move again. The third hunter backed up, reaching for a signal flare, but Kai tackled him, smashing his helmet with a wrench. More ships were approaching. Too many. Back in the garage, Kai grabbed Sira's arm. "They're calling for backup. We can't win if they land more troops." Sira looked up at the sky, her hands clenched. "I can stop them." Kai blinked. "How?" "I've never used full fire before," she said. "Not even in the lab. But with the bond? Maybe I can do it." Kai held her shoulders. "You'll burn yourself out," she smiled. "Then I'll burn for something that matters." She climbed to the highest junk tower and faced the sky. The mark on her back lit up. Flames spun around her body. Then, she roared. Not like a girl, but like a dragon. A blast of pure fire shot upward, hitting the enemy ship's engine. It exploded. In a ring of heat and sparks, the sky turned orange, and the other ships backed away. They had seen enough. They knew now. This was not a simple catch. This was a warning. She was not their weapon anymore. When it was over, Sira collapsed. Kai ran to her, caught her in his arms. Her skin was hot, but her breathing was soft. "You did it," he said. She smiled weakly. "We did it." The next morning, the junkyard was quiet again. Smoke rose from the battle site. Broken, armor and machines lay scattered across the dirt. Kai fixed a chair under the half-destroyed garage roof. Sira sat beside him, her wings folded gently behind her. "You still think I'm dangerous?" she asked. He looked at her. "You're not dangerous to me," he said. "You're powerful. That's different." She nodded slowly. "They'll come again." Kai grinned. "Let them. We'll burn the sky again if we have to." Far away, in a high command room, a cold voice played a recording. "The subject has bonded, the fire is awakening." A general stared at the screen. "Then we begin phase 2. We don't just take her back. We take the human too." The firestorm. The fun. Sky turned black. More enemy ships flew in from the north, their engines screaming like beasts in the wind. They didn't come to warn this time. They came to destroy. Inside the junkyard, Kai stood on top of his workshop roof, holding a pulse blaster in one hand and a smoke flare in the other. Beside him stood Sira, breathing hard, glowing brighter than ever before. Her wings were out. Her scales shimmered like gold. But her face was pale. "You're still tired," Kai said. She shook her head. "It doesn't matter. If I don't stop them now, I never will." He looked at her. "Then we stand together." She smiled. "Always." The first blast came fast. Red plasma burning a deep line into the dirt, missing the garage by inches. The pew. Shockwave shook the ground. Junk towers fell. Old engines exploded. Enemy soldiers dropped in full force, 12 of them, moving in from all sides. "This is your final chance," one shouted through his helmet. "Surrender the creature or we take her with force." Kai fired his first shot. It hit the soldier square in the chest. The firestorm had begun. Sira roared, not with fear, with power. Flames burst from her arms as she jumped into the air, wings slicing the smoke. She flew over the enemy lines, spinning mid-air, and sent a wave of fire across the ground. 3 soldiers were knocked out instantly, but there were more, and they were ready. One fired a freezing round. It hit her shoulder, sending ice across. Her skin. Sierra cried out and fell hard. Kai ran to her. Her body was shaking. "Sierra," he shouted, grabbing her hand. Her eyes opened slowly. They have tech to block my fire." Kai looked around, then down at the glowing bond on his arm. "Then give me some of it." "What?" she gasped. "Let me use the fire. You said, it's inside me too now, right?" "Yes, but no time." She reached out and pressed her hand to his chest. The bond pulsed. For the first time, fire passed into Kai. His body lit up, burning, glowing, alive. Kai stood, steam rising from his hands. The ground under his feet cracked. He grabbed a broken pipe and swung it at the nearest soldier. It melted the armor on contact. He moved fast now, not like a mechanic, but like something more. The enemy didn't expect it. They fell back, but it was too late. Sierra rose again, this time glowing with full heat. Her wings burned. Her claws sparked. The two of them stood side by side. Fire and fury, together, they attacked. Kai blocked and slammed. Sierra flew and burned. The last wave of enemies tried to run, but the fire surrounded them. Smoke filled the yard, and when it cleared, there was silence. Nothing left but ash. Hours passed. Kai sat on the roof, breath heavy. Sierra lay next to him, her head on his shoulder. "You okay?" he asked. She nodded. "I didn't think I'd ever feel free again." Kai looked at her, smiling. "You burned down half the junkyard," she grinned. It was ugly anyway. They both laughed softly. Then a soft beep came from Kai's scanner, a message from someone unknown. "We saw what you did. If you're still alive, come. You're not alone." Kai looked at Sierra. "Someone's watching," she nodded. "Rebels, maybe, or survivors like me." "You want to go?" She stood, slowly stretching her wings. "I don't want to run anymore. But if there's a place where people like me can live, I'll go." He stood beside her. "Then I'm going too." From the sky, a final drone watched the ruins of the junkyard. A shadowy figure viewed the footage through a control room far away. "They survived the firestorm," he said quietly. Another voice replied, "Then we bring the storm to the stars, more than a creature." The junkyard was gone. Only burned metal, ash, and a few twisted towers remained. Smoke drifted through the air like fog. The land that once held broken machines had become the place of something greater, a battle for freedom. Place where a dragon girl chose to rise. Kai walked slowly through the wreckage, dragging his old toolbox behind him. His arm still glowed faintly with the bond. His body was sore but alive. Sitting on a small hill of melted scrap, Sierra watched the sky. She had changed. Her wings were larger now. Her scales shimmered in the sun. Her eyes still burned with fire, but they also held peace. "You're thinking," Kai said. Sierra smiled. "A lot." He sat beside her. "You ready to leave this place?" She looked down. "It was the first place I was free. But yes, it's time." The message they had received the night before had come again. "We are not your enemy. We are the Flameborn. Come to us." Sierra had heard of them. Ancient dragons, hidden away from the world, protecting others like her. A myth. A legend. But the message was real. They were calling her. As Kai prepared the old ship for launch, Sierra walked through the ruins one last time. She remembered the cold metal she had crawled out of. She remembered Kai's hands, warm and gentle. She remembered the fire that almost consumed her, and the bond that saved her. Inside the ship, Sierra sat beside him in the co-pilot seat. Kai started the engine. It roared like a dragon. "Where to?" he asked. She tapped in the coordinates. "To a place Where no one will cage me again. Hours passed. The ship flew through quiet space. Then, on the edge of an empty starfield, they saw it. A hidden base, surrounded by light and mist. As they landed, beings stepped out to greet them. They had horns, wings, scales, and eyes like, hers. Not one stepped forward, an old woman, a dragon elder. She looked at Sierra, then at Kai. She carries the flame. But the bond, you carry it too. Kai nodded. I chose her. And she chose me. The elder smiled. Then you are not just bonded. You are one. They were taken inside. Not as prisoners, but as guests. Sierra saw others like her, young dragons, half-breeds, survivors. None of them judged her. None feared her. She was finally home. Later, the elder met them again. There will be war soon, she said. The ones who hunted you. They are hunting all of us. Sierra stood tall. Then we fight. The elder looked at Kai. And you? I already burned one sky to protect her, he said. I'll burn 1,000 more if I have. 2. The elder nodded. Then stay. We will train you both. Weeks passed. Kai learned to control his bond. Sierra mastered her fire. Fully, for the first time. Together they flew side by side through the sky. Together they trained, ate, laughed, and dreamed. And one day as they stood on a high cliff, Sierra placed her hand on his chest. You didn't save a creature in the junkyard, she said. You gave a soul its name back, he smiled. And what name is that? She looked into his eyes. Sierra Flameborn, daughter of fire, and yours. Above them, the stars waited. Below them, a legend had already begun. The girl who was once starving, in a scrap heap, was now a fire to be feared, a flame to be followed, and a name the galaxy would never forget.